This video is meant to serve as a helpful tool as you prepare your mini proposal assignment for Unknown S. The assignment is due no later than the lab prior to your planned experiment for Unknown S. This way you may receive your online feedback prior to any experimentation. The first task is to draft a brief introduction. Task 1 states that you should pick a scenario in which UV-vis spectroscopy, also known as UV-vis spectrophotometry, can be used to solve the concentration of a compound in solution with a real-world issue in mind. Your real-world scenario may involve a compound that is used for applications in many different branches of chemistry, including organic, materials, and biological chemistry. Perhaps you're wondering about environmental chemistry, pharmaceuticals, food science, or the health and beauty industries. To go about your search, proceed to www.scu.edu/library, select Databases, and use the drop-down menu to select Chemistry. From there, scroll down to Science Direct. In the Keywords field, try typing UV-vis spectrophotometry dye. You'll see over 5,000 hits. These hits are research articles, review papers, encyclopedia entries, and books. You should narrow your search to only research articles. There is one about a dye detected in water samples. There's an article about detecting praseodymium ions used to color glass. There's an article about dyes in cotton fibers. I would read it to make sure the analysis is performed in solution. Our directions specifically state that the compound must be studied in solution, so no solids. Many articles pop up with dyes but no reference to UV-vis. There's an article on detecting textile dyes in wastewater. That's an environmental concern for sure. Let's try searching an alternate term. I'll change spectrophotometry to spectroscopy. It gets over 37,000 hits. Selecting only research articles only narrows us to over 32,000 hits. We're seeing a reference to wool dyeing materials, an article on counterfeit whiskey brands, azo dyes used in polarized films, maybe like those polarized sunglasses. Many of the articles do not hit on all the keywords. Let's say, from a separate Google search, that I know polyphenols are studied by UV-vis. They are in many foods and drinks, touching on applications in the food industry. If I enter polyphenol concentration instead of dyes as my keyword, the first article is about polyphenols in basil and other seeds. Another article talks about differentiating compounds in coffee blends. The article on food fraud in commercial pomegranate molasses syrup looks interesting. There is research on the identification of compounds in red wines and about antioxidants in fruit juices. Now I know that polymers are studied by UV-vis sometimes, and they play a big role in material science. So if I replace polyphenols with polymers, I see an article about silver nanoparticles, a hot area of research that is currently explored in our department in Dr. Wheeler's labs. Reminder, it's important to click on research articles every time you enter a new search term. Oh look, polyphenols in red wines popped up again. If you're into pharmaceutical applications, we can replace polymers with drug to search drug concentrations that may be determined using UV-vis spectroscopy. You need to scroll a lot, but the study of an anti-cancer drug using UV-vis pops up eventually. Another anti-cancer drug, camptothecin, also comes up. There are 240 pages of these, so ample opportunity to find something you're interested in discussing. I'm noticing that there are more biochemical topics here, so you'll need to scroll up and search only within the field of chemistry. You might opt to search journals that have the word chemistry explicitly in their titles. Let's do that. This is a much more narrow scope. Unfortunately, I see many articles here that are either related to UV-vis or they're pharmaceutical or drug related. Eventually, I found one that involves identifying cannabinoids in marijuana street samples. So hopefully I've done a good job of convincing you that you can find something interesting to discuss in your introduction. Back to the task of drafting your proposal. You'll see a list of criteria for success. Almost all of these criteria apply to the sections of the proposal that come after the introduction, so you have work to do. You'll find that there are very explicit instructions for formatting. 2 pages, single-spaced, Times New Roman, 12-point font. There are 6 sections to include: the introduction, materials, procedure with timeline, calculations, and waste disposal, and your references. Obviously, one of your references will be your laboratory manual, and at least one other reference will be an article you found on Science Direct. To demonstrate that you have completed this task, please navigate to Discussions in our Chem 13 Camino page and follow the prompt to post your selected compound. Be sure to include all 4 aspects of a complete discussion comment. You'll see that I have posted an example to follow for formatting purposes. Good luck, and see you in lab!